right behind me, I've got the 2026 Chevrolet Tahoe High Country. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Jason and I do reviews on vehicles here in Canada, so reviews just like this. If you love car reviews, be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel. And thank you to Georgetown Chevy for allowing me to review this beautiful Tahoe High Country. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the different models that you can get with the Chevy Tahoes, the safety features that you get with this High Country model, the engine specs, the exterior, the interior, the infotainment system, and of course the pricing on this. As for the different models, first off, you can get two drive types, and here are all the models that you can pick from. As for the safety features, here is a list of the ones that you do get with the High Country, so there is a bunch of them. As for what powers this beast here, this does have the 6.2 liter V8 engine, which produces 420 horsepower and 460 pound-foot of torque. And towing wise, when you are equipped properly, you can tow about 8,100 pounds. Also, I'm going to throw up the window sticker on this because this does have optional features added to it, such as the bigger wheels and also the tech package, which you are going to notice throughout the vehicle. All right, well, let's start off in front of this insane looking Tahoe High Country. Since this is in black, this just looks like a mob vehicle. Now let's go to the bumper here on the front. You have all of your safety sensors that do run across. You have some chrome trimming that stretches across, LED fog lights. There's also like this mini lower grille area with the sensor in the center, and this is actually active, so once the vehicle is up and running, these do open up. And the bumper is body color, and even if you look underneath, like this plastic trimming, you kind of have like almost vents underneath, but not really. But yeah, it does add to the look of the SUV here. And then you just get into this gorgeous grille. I really like all of the bits and pieces. You got a ton of gloss black going on, the aluminum's going on. You've even got this bar that stretches across with more openings within it, a blacked out Chevy badge, a front facing camera, and then you just get into these super cool looking lights. You've got the light strip up here, the C shape here, your typical lights right there. Look at how nice these lights are. And on the sides here, this is a functional vent. So yeah, you do have this on both the sides, and all of this tied together makes this thing look super mean and aggressive. All right, coming around to the side, you can see the size of this thing because it is a 3-row SUV if you weren't familiar with the Tahoes. Now I'm going to show you something up top, which is probably my favorite thing. This does have the dual pane panoramic sunroof, which just looks stunning inside. You've also got the chrome roof rails, and around your windows you do have the body color, the gloss black, the chrome trimming. None of that plastic, the rubber look, which I do not like on vehicles, but this is so much better. As for the door handles, these are pretty unique because you do have them in body color and chrome. As for your side mirror here, now, since this is a black SUV, you can't really tell, but the top half here is body color, and then the bottom section here is gloss black. You've also got the turn signal, which also kind of has like this smoke tint to it, and side mirror cameras. So I'm going to show you those inside on the touchscreen because you can see a ton of different views. On the fender here, you've got the chrome High Country badging. Even on the sides of the door, you've got the chrome Tahoe badging and the power side step. So when you do open up the door, just like this, these do pop out. And once the door is closed, obviously, these do sit up against the vehicle nice and flush. And here are the wheels. These are the upgraded wheels on this. These are 24-inch wheels. How insane is that? But these do look good with the massive SUV size that this is. So you've got the chromes going on, the gloss blacks, even got the typical Chevy badge in the center. If I do take a step back, like I was saying, the massive size of the SUV I think fits perfect with these 24s. And you'll also notice up here by the tire area, you do have a reflector. Now coming around to the rear of the Tahoe, the nice looks definitely continue. Now down here on your bumper area, you've got the body color, you've got the black plastic here, the chrome trimming, the reflectors on the sides, the quad exhaust tips. In the center here, this does come off and reveal your hitch, so it is hidden away, but if you are not using it, obviously, you have this nice clean look. Underneath, you do have a spare tire. There's more rear safety sensors that do run across here. And then you just move on to your tailgate area. Now, another thing that you will notice if you do get a different color, So this section all right here is body color. However, the trim behind the badging here, the Chevy badge, so this trim, the top trim, is gloss black. So I wish I had a different color to show you, but because that does look very neat. So on here you do have, like I mentioned, the blacked out Chevy badge, the chrome Tahoe letters here. You've also got the rear camera, and this also has the digital rear view camera along with it. And then these very unique looking LED lights. I really like the designing on this, even inside the bezeling. Like, look at all those bits and pieces, super unique. And then up here you have like this top spoiler area with a brake light, and something I really like is your wiper is hidden away, so you get this nice clean look back here. Not only that, but the glass area at the top here does also open up, aside from your power tailgate, of course. So on the key fob here, I can just press this and it's gonna unlatch the glass. So I can just open this up and voila, you have this whole open space up top, and then just open up the actual tailgate, which is power opening, obviously. So back here, like I was mentioning, this is a 3-row SUV. Right now the third row is folded down, so this is the perfect time to see how much space you can have with the third row down if you are not using it. So you get all of this space back here. It's a massive area, but even when you have the third row seats up, you still have a generous amount of space. Before I show you that, I'm just gonna touch on the nice little protectors here in chrome. And even down here, if you lift up the carpet area, you do kind of have like this mini storage area for small little things, possibly flat things, but yeah, you have that space here. And then over here you just have an outlet, and then all of your power seat controls, so you can fold them down, bring them back up. Now, one thing to note, for the second row you can only power fold them down, but for the third row they can be power folded down and back up. Now let me show you with the third row up how much space you have back here. So if I just go ahead and press up on this, look at actually how fast these seats come up. That was actually pretty fast compared to any other vehicle I've seen. But yeah, look at all the space. You still have a generous amount of space back here for all of your family road trips. All right, let's head inside and let me show you what this thing has inside. Now, you do get an all black interior, but there are bits and pieces that do stand out. Now, let me start off at the bottom here. You do have some storage space here. This does come with the Bose sound system, as you can see right there, with the chrome trimming, and it's actually a massive speaker. And you have more space in the center of the door here. And then this trimming here, it is soft touch material, but it's pretty unique. You have the typical one here with the brown contrast stitching, and then like this perforated material right here. It gives it that more luxurious feeling. And even up here you have the soft touch material along with the chrome trimming, and then this beautiful wood trimming, and around all of this is more gloss black trimming. All right, let me jump inside. I'm going to start off in the third row, so I'll show you what's back there, what you get, the leg room, the headroom, and all that good stuff, and then I'll do the same thing in the second row. So in order to get to the back, it's very easy. Now, you do have two levers here. One is to move the seat forward and backwards for the second row. This one right here, if I just do it twice, it's gonna fold the seat down and up. All right, so all you gotta do is just do it once, and then it goes down like this. If I do it again, it pops up just like that. So let's say you only did it once, where the seat comes down to like this, and then I can just use this strap right here and really just pull it up. So you can use it either way, I guess. But yeah, then you have access to the third row. Now you can fit 3 people back here, but I'm assuming 2 adults can be pretty comfortable back here, but if you try 3 adults, it might be a little tight. Now, as for the seats themselves, these are very nice. So not only do you have the brown stitching, you've got the perforated back section here, the bottom section, and yeah, these do look pretty nice, but it gets better in the second row. So I'm gonna jump back here and show you how comfortable these seats are, the legroom and the headroom. So I'm back here, and before I put this seat back, I just wanna show you the thigh support here. Now, it's not all that bad. I've sat in third row vehicles where it's way lower than this, so this is actually pretty decent. In terms of long road trips, I don't know if for an adult it will be comfortable, but for kids, for sure. The room back here and the seats are pretty comfortable. Now let me put this down here, and then I'll bring it up so you see the leg room. Put this up. So leg room wise, I have a ton of room. I'm pretty sure this seat can be moved back even further, but let's say it's up to here. Still a ton of leg room. Now in terms of the headroom, again, lots of headroom back here. I am 5'11" for reference, and I'm wearing a hat, so tons and tons of room back here. And you will notice one thing where the roof kind of like goes upwards in the center here, so that opens up a ton of space. Okay, so once you're back here, you do have a cup holder spot, and then some spot here for some storage, and then you do have this soft padded area for elbows, and then USB ports on this side and on the other side, so you are not fighting with the people back here And also you have this button here. So if I just press this, this is gonna put the seat down, and then you can just use the strap and pull the seat up and get out of there. Now, since I'm back here, you do have the second row captain's chairs. So legroom, you can extend through here, and even you can enter and exit through here. You really don't have to open up the seat. All right, now let's jump into the second row and let me show you around here, because this is where things are a little bit better. And by better, I mean the seats. I showed you the third row seats. They were okay looking. These just look so much better. Like, look at the perforated section. Even inside the perforated section behind the seat is the brown material, and you have this strip that goes all the way down with the nice details. Bottom section is perforated, the back section is perforated, and the second row seats do come heated, which is a bonus. And of course, since these are captain's chairs, you do have your very own armrest. And then here are all of the controls again. Now I'm gonna jump in here and show you the legroom and the headroom. Now that I'm inside, this seat is actually pretty up, as I was mentioning, in the third row. So if I even move it a little bit back, I still have a ton of room. And I know in the back, in the third row, for sure I have room. So here is what the room looks like for the legroom. And in terms of the headroom, again, there's no issues at all. This thing is massive. So family in the third row, the second row, you guys will be comfortable. Also, I was mentioning about the tech package. So you do have the nice screens in the back here in the second row. So if I just press it on here, it comes to life. So here you have a web browser which you can go on, HDMI 1 and 2, and then vehicle status. So this is pretty cool. You can see the speed from back here, fuel range, trip information. So a ton of information that is viewed from just back here. You can also set up your very own headsets or use the cabin speakers. There's also the settings, which you can just do typical stuff. And then if you want to turn it off, you can just turn the screen off just like that. Behind the driver and passenger seats, I really like the soft touch material. There's no plastic or anything. Plus, you have these storage compartments on both of the sides. And on the rear console area, you have two cup holders with chrome trimming. More chrome trimming here. Your rear climate control is there. Heated seat controls for the second row, USB ports and HDMI ports here, and then an outlet down there. And here's what the dual pane panoramic sunroof looks like from the inside. Very, very cool. And also down here, you have this pretty neat looking door sill piece in chrome with the mountains and everything. All right, let's head to the front and see if anything is different compared to the rear in terms of the door trim area. Now, the only thing that I can notice right off the bat is you have some massive storage space here, a water bottle area here, the same massive speaker there. Everything else is pretty identical, other than, of course, your typical window controls, side mirror controls, and then the driver memory seat controls. As for the front seats, these are identical to the second row seats. Not only do these come heated, these are also ventilated, and on the front here, you do have the High Country stitched into the headrest on both of the front seats, which is pretty neat. And if you come to the side here, here are all the power adjustments for the seats. Down here, you have a bigger door sill piece that actually says High Country. Underneath, just your typical foot pedals. Here is your hood latch release. Moving up here, you have a bunch of controls. Here's your electronic parking brake, all of your different modes, your auto, 2 high, 4 high, all of that good stuff. And this also has the suspension, the adjustable suspension, so you can raise it and lower it, which is pretty cool. These are your cluster dimmer controls. Here's your exterior lighting controls. Your trailer brake controller is here, and then you have all of these things here. So you have your 360 camera setup here, which you can just view, and I'll show you. Your parking sensors here, so you can turn them on or off. Here's the auto start stop, traction control, hill descent control. This is for your park assist here, and then here is your lane keep. And then even moving towards your vent here, you have this trim, which is more of that perforated look. More of the wood trimming, more of the chrome, the gloss black, so a ton of things going on here, which is pretty cool. And then your steering wheel is power adjustable. All right, once you're inside of the High Country here, your dashboard is a mixture of hard soft material, the typical plastic. You've got the speaker here, speaker there, and then on that corner as well. And this has my favorite thing, which is the heads-up display, as you can see right there. And then you move into this very nice looking 11-inch fully digital cluster area. I like all of the different details on this and what you can view. It just looks super, super nice. And you can view a ton of different information. As you can see on this screen here, you just have loads of information. And in order to switch through all of that, you can just press this. So if I just press that, I also have a full Google Map view, which I can have here, which is pretty neat. And then if I press it again, you have your driver assistance and all that stuff here. Press it again, you have this nice minimalistic clean look again, and then you come to this page, and then you're back to this page here. And then as for the steering wheel, this does have soft touch material. This also comes heated, and you will notice this and this little guy here, And this is for your hands-free driving. So this here monitors the driver. So if you're drowsy or anything like that, you have the typical Chevy badge here, more chrome trimming that stretches down here, gloss black trimming, and it also says High Country down here. On the left side here, you have all of your cruise control settings, follow distance, lower gear, and if you press this here, that is how you turn on your hands-free driving. Over on the other side, you have your Bluetooth, music, your cluster controls right here and here, heated steering wheel control, and then your phone controls. If you look closely behind, you do have paddle shifters on both the sides, and front and rear wiper controls, high beams, and indicators. And the other side is your gear shifter. All right, moving to the center armrest area. Similar to the second and third row seats, you have the same nice designing here with the perforated look and the brown contrast stitching and all of that. Opening this up here, you do have, as you can see, a ton of room in here that you can put all sorts of different things. Not only that, but if I do close this, and if you look up here, this control, if I press up, this whole center console moves back. How cool is that? So you have like this hidden secret area. So you have this space once you have it fully extended, and then more space down here. So you can put all of your hush hush things down here. And before I touch on the center console here, I just want to show you on the sides, you have more of the soft touch material, more of the contrast stitching, and some room down here for storage. So you have this on the passenger side as well. Then on the console area, you have a ton more gloss black, your two cup holders up here, a ton more space, and a wireless charging area, and 2 USB ports. And then you move into here where you will find all of your typical heating and cooling temperature controls, your hazards, and then a ton of gloss black. And on the dash here is more of that wood trim, the chrome trim, which goes all the way across. And then you get into this beautiful 17.7-inch touchscreen. One thing that I do love about this is not only do you have the massive screen here, but it kind of like ties into the cluster area. So you have like this massive piece of screen real estate. So on here, there's a ton of things. First off, you have more heating and cooling temperature controls down here that you can utilize, plus your vented seats, heated seats, all that good stuff is here. And on the screen itself, you have this page full of things, and then the next page. And this is actually pretty responsive. So the first page here under vehicle status, this opens up kind of similar to what I was showing you in the rear screens. So you have the vehicle silhouette here and all of these different plus symbols. So if I just press any of them, it'll show me that particular information about the vehicle. So there's a ton of them that you can go through. There's also the maintenance section. So here you're going to have tire pressure, brake pad life, and all the essentials. If I go back, same thing for the gauges. All of your essential ones will be here. Heading back, you've also got the trip information, fuel economy, and all of that. Heading back, and then let's go back now. You've also got My Chevy, Google Assistant, Play Store, Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay. Here are all of the cameras on this. So right now I am facing the front, so the front camera, and then the bird's eye top view. And here I can also have the overhead, so the top front of the hood here, so I can see all of that. And then the side, for the side mirrors facing the front. Same thing for the rear. I've got the standard overhead, side, and then even the hitch camera. There's also the trailer camera, so this brings up these side mirrors, the cameras, and then everything else will be illuminated once you do have your trailer connected. Here in the gears section, so your settings, you can turn on or off the guidelines. And then you'll notice that this popped up here. This is your reverse automatic braking. So if I click this, it turns it off, and right now it's turned on. If I exit out of this, and then under trailering, you have all of your trailer essentials. So add new trailer, guest trailer, accessories, so you can utilize all of that. And then under settings, here is your basic information about the vehicle where you can kind of customize to your liking or change some certain things. Here is the auto park assist. There's another section for your climate for the front here and the second row. So from here, here, and down here, there's also the Wi-Fi hotspot. The next page also has the recordings. So let me just go into it and show you. So the cameras that this has with a USB drive, you can actually record everything. You've also got the audio section, which is going to have your AM, FM, Sirius XM, Bluetooth, USB, and news. And then there's also the Google Maps, which I was showing you on the cluster, but you have it here as well. And then you have your phone section. Here is the controls section. So again, a bunch of stuff here that you see is duplicated from what I just went over. If I go under see more, there's more things here, the power steps, all of that good stuff. Here under the entertainment hub for the rear screens, I can actually individually control each screen. So if I go to the left screen here, I can turn it on, off, lock it, whatever. So all those settings are here. Now, if we go further up, not only do you have your typical rear view mirror, but also a digital rear view mirror. And then moving further up, you have a ton of things here. So this here is actually for your interior sensor. So the movement sensor, right now it's off if I have this light turned on, but it's on right now. So here's the camera. So here you have all of your third row seat controls. Here you can actually adjust the tailgate opening. There's also the sunroof controls, sunshade controls, and then yeah, there's one more over here for the sunroof, so slide and tilt. And here is the center console control. So a ton of things jam-packed here. There's also SOS and OnStar. Here's what the key fob looks like for the Chevy Tahoe, just your typical Chevy key. All right, let's come around to the passenger side and let me show you what you have going on over here on the dashboard. First of all, you've got this beautiful soft padded material here, which is perforated. Look how nice that looks. Plus a High Country badge, more of the wood trimming, and then really just typically your glove compartment space. And here is the window sticker for this High Country. The pricing that you see is in Canadian dollars. Well, that does it for the review on this 2026 Chevrolet Tahoe High Country. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of this?